Welcome everyone. It's Renee. I'm here for week 3 of Monday Motivation. I am the owner of the Yoga Loft, and I'm just going to give a minute for people to pop on here. But we focused on finding our why in week 1, and week 2's theme was obstacles as opportunities. And the theme for our Monday motivation for week 3 is habits that stick. So what my inspiration for this Monday motivation is, I was driving and I was thinking of, it's the 3rd week in January. So a lot of new habits often get formed around the new year and New Year's resolutions, and it takes 21 days to make a habit. So we're entering the 3rd week of January. And so now some of the habits that we've been establishing since 2022 beginning are starting to stick a little bit. And I had the visual in my head of like throwing a piece of spaghetti up against a wall and it sticks. And that's how you know it's al dente, it's done, it's cooked, it's ready to go. So finding those habits and finding a rhythm with the habits that you've established, that welcome. That you've been practicing these habits enough that they're becoming a little bit more automatic, a little bit more integrated into your routine, and how to really find a healthy relationship with that habit. So if you're on here live, just feel free to share any habit that you are either stepping into in the new year, or maybe that you're reframing, that you're looking to maybe have a healthier relationship with food or with exercise. It doesn't necessarily have to be starting something new. It could be reframing something that you've already done for a long time and just entered into a new relationship with it. So this idea of habits that stick reminded me of when you're doing yoga. So the purpose of yoga is not just the postures, but when you're doing the postures, you get into a rhythm with your body where you're not even thinking about what the next move is that you're doing. You're more just being present with your body and not letting like the thoughts in your head and the things that you have to do in your day kind of dictate what you're doing. The movements just become automatic and you're moving with the breath and you're fully present. And it's the idea of flow, really coming into flow with what you're presently doing. So you can also do that yoga type relationship with habits. How can you come into flow with something and want to show up for something again and again every day is going to allow those habits to stick and become a little bit more permanent in your life if you want them to be. And I think that any habit, it can be kind of like a relationship. You know, there's your highs and lows, your ups and downs. You might not always want to say exercise or eat healthy every day, but if it becomes more of an automatic where it's just a given that you do it, and even if you're not loving it every day, you know that that's going to allow you to sleep better, to feel better, to have more energy, and that's why you keep showing up for those habits. So how do you come into flow with the habit? And also, how do you find and continually find that sense of excitement and passion behind the habit? You know, going back to your why, of why you began to do something and what was your motivation behind it. That's why it's really important to have that strong why, that strong foundation of, even on the hard days, say when you're tired and you don't want to maybe show up and exercise, you know, maybe you're not going to be giving the full 100% every time if your body's not physically there, but you still show up and you still do something because it's become a habit. So coming into flow, finding some excitement and some passion, really motivated by that why. And also, how is the habit serving you? So not really coming into habits as a form of punishment, you know, not exercising. Hi, Steph, happy Monday. Not exercising because you're mad at yourself for not eating healthy all the time. So you're like, I'm going to exercise and I'm going to like sweat off this bad meal. That isn't necessarily a way to come into a healthy relationship with a habit. Hi. It's something that you want to exercise because it makes you feel good, because it gives you a sense of joy, and it makes you, you know, feel emotions in your body, and really, you know, really noticing that it's of service to you. You know, the habit is something that you're doing to serve the greatest good in your life and also the lives around you, allowing you to show up for yourself and others in a more deeper and meaningful way. So noticing how you can come into flow with your habits, how you can find excitement with them, and how you can use them to be of service to both you and to others. So this is the theme for this week. If you have a habit that you're stepping into, or that you're maybe reframing, you know, maybe you have had some trouble sleeping and you want to lean into your relationship with rest and really enjoy rest, and what ways can you do that more? It doesn't have to just be something active. So habits can, you know, kind of have to do with diet and exercise, but they can also be the way that you talk to yourself. You know, are you speaking and encouraging yourself in a way that's supporting you and supporting those around you? Because maybe if you, welcome Sarah, if you speak to yourself more kindly, maybe you'll go about your day speaking to others more kindly, and you'll be able to have exchanges that are more meaningful because your exchange with yourself is also meaningful. So week 3, the theme is habits that stick, because it takes 21 days to make a habit, and we're in our 3rd week of January. So really noticing how the things that we have intended to do in this year, how they're serving us, how they're feeling, and, you know, are they becoming, coming into a little bit of a rhythm? Are they becoming a little bit easier? Often I think of the 21 days to form a habit almost like the honeymoon phase with the habit. You're like, oh yeah, third week, like I'm having the best time with this habit. It feels so good, and I'm getting into the routine, and you're kind of still in that honeymoon phase. Like, you're developing the habit, it's becoming natural. And sometimes that 3rd week hits and it's almost like the brakes hit, and you're like, I don't know if I'm really committed and ready to keep going forward. But finding flow, finding excitement, and finding ways that it can be in service to you long term can help you keep that habit going, like the snowball effect of really letting the rhythm and the momentum move through the winter. You know, any movement and any even emotional movement that we can get in the winter, it's kind of like our hibernation season, and we're a little bit more still, we're a little bit more inward. How can we keep things flowing and moving through our body that are going to allow us to really step into the best version of ourselves and the rhythms of our lives by allowing them to serve us a little bit more? So that's our Monday motivation for this week. I'm just going to stay on a little bit longer in case anybody has any questions, but our theme is habits that stick. And if you have a habit that you're stepping into and that you're loving, or maybe a new habit that you're looking to develop, how can you come into flow with it? How can you feel excited about it? And how can it serve you and others? So, that's our theme for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you have any questions about yoga or habits or motivation or just anything, feel free to reach out to me. It's Yoga Loft NH, and I hope everyone has a wonderful week, a wonderful day. It's snowing here in Guilford. It's a little chilly, but you know, really just embracing what we can achieve, what we can do, and what's feeling good and positive in our bodies. Is always going to be hard times and hard moments, but that sense of excitement, that sense of wanting to show up is going to be what's serving us best, and just honoring wherever you are at any moment and any time. Take care.